Welcome to Phazon Labs, powered by the World 1-1 Podcast Network and sponsored by Phazon Flakes, radioactively delicious part of your mutagenic breakfast. I am, as always, your host, Larry the Bearded One. Joining me this week is Michael Powerbomb Performance Problems Brown.
You promised you wouldn't say anything. It happens to all of us.
I like that one. It's not bad for off the top of my head. I think that might stick around.
No. I'll talk to my doctor about it.
Here's a prescription for Phazon. Why does my penis glow blue, Doc?
Side effect.
We are the internet's premier Metroid Futurist podcast, where every week we bring you a new pitch for another Metroid game, so that we hope we don't ever have to go another 19 years without. God damn it! So this week, I'm bringing you one of my half-cocked ideas, because I've usually got them full baked before I bring them to the show, but not always. And this is one of those occurrences. So I was thinking about it this past week, and it occurs to me, we've talked a lot about what we thought, Dread might one day be, and now that Dread's out there in the world for us, what we think will, might come next, or could come next, or should come next. But we haven't really been talking about Prime 4, which is, confirmed, and it's been in the cooker for 2.5, almost 3 years now. The second time around? Yeah, it's been a while. It was 2019, like January or February, when they announced they were restarting it. So yeah, it's been a while. Next year will be the 3rd anniversary of that announcement. So, but in any case, so it occurs to me, we haven't really talked about Prime 4, or what we think might happen, might be going on. And I've started.
Oh, go ahead.
No,
Go ahead. We'll talk about it later.
Okay. So I was thinking about it, and I was thinking about the ending of Prime 3. And, there's been speculation as to where Prime 4 will sit in the timeline, if it will be, a continuation of right where Prime 3 left off, or if it'll be, stuck in the middle of 2 other games, or post-Dread, or what. But I'm working on the idea that Prime 4 will take place after Prime 3, before Samus returns.
Wait. Okay, this is, forgive my ignorance here, but
All right.
The Primes take place before Samus returns?
Yes, they take place between 1 and 2.
Shit, I didn't know that.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So canonically, it's early Metroid. But, so my thought is at the end of Prime 3, I know you haven't seen it, but I'm going to spoil a little piece for you. You get your 100% completion. You see the scene at the end where Silex's ship goes chasing off after Samus after she leaves. And they've said that they want to do something with Silex, if there was ever a Prime 4, which is coming. So I'm assuming we're getting something that involves Silex from Hunters. My thought is if I remember the backstory for Silex correctly, he has a beef with both Samus and the Federation. And my weird idea was that Silex comes from a race that has a natural ability of foretelling or prophecy.
Okay.
And that he knows and is trying to catch up with Samus to fucking warn her about all the bullshit going on in the Black Ops and Wet Work divisions of the Federation and all the dirty shit that they're up to.
Okay. Now, You have to forgive me. I'm going to ask a lot of questions because I know nothing of this Silas character. Silex?
Silex.
Okay. Yeah, I know nothing of this character. So, were they antagonistic?
Silex was one of the 6 hunters from Metroid Prime Hunters. So they
Prime
were all
Hunters
competing.
DS game, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And all of these hunters were competing to try and get to this ultimate power thing first. That ended up being a trap.
I thought Hunters was just a side thing that wasn't actually considered canon.
No, it's canon, just like Prime is canon.
I knew Prime was canon, but
Nope, Hunters is officially in there.
okay.
It took place.
What about Federation Force? Was that canon?
Yep. As weird as that is.
I didn't even know there was a story to Federation Force.
Uh-huh. It's not necessarily a good one, but it's a story. So. But no, I kind of want to see this idea of Silex is chasing Samus trying to catch up with her. She doesn't fucking know it. And I'm not sure how to...
Like, as I said, were they antagonistic then, or...
All the hunters were, really, yeah.
Okay.
Like, no... Only one of them specifically... Well, 2 of them specifically had a beef with Samus. The others were just kind of there. But Silex, if I remember the story correctly, does have an issue with Samus and the Federation. I think the whole prophecy bit, knowing that there's a bunch of dirty fuckers in the Federation, could explain his beef with the Federation.
Yeah. Now, Samus isn't actually part of the Federation. She just works with them occasionally, right?
Correct. She's contract. At least basically contract. So. But part of me, though, wants to see this play out where you're getting to play as both characters. One is Samus as she's progressing towards whatever the hell's going on that's got her attention, that she's trying to stop. But then occasionally flipping back and actually playing as Silex, trying to catch up with her.
Kind of
track
like
her down.
Breath of Fire 4 did.
I don't think I played Breath of Fire 4.
Oh, you should have. It was so good. Old style RPG, but the game starts out, you literally jump back and forth between 2 characters, one of which ends up being the final boss of the game. And like, he's hyper powerful.
Okay. But yeah, kind of like that.
Yeah, it was well done.
Honestly, as terrible as it sounds, because it's not really my cup of tea, but part of me had the concept of switching between like Master Chief and the Arbiter, running, parallel but different stories.
Okay. As I said, I've never played the Halo games either.
That's all right. So, the story's not bad by any means. Some of them are a little better story than others. 5 was trash. But
how many?
I'm sure.
There's 5.
Numbered, there's 5. Unnumbered, there's more.
Yikes.
Mm-hmm. There's
I
a lot.
did not know that.
Yep, it's a thing. So,
Of course, I got to keep pumping them out for as long as they can.
oh, obviously. Well, granted, it's not like they rush them ever, so.
Fair. And I've heard they're usually relatively good. Not my cup of tea.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that either. But yeah, no, I kind of want to see this like back and forth, and I kind of want to see like Silex's sections of the game involve some actual like tracking.
Ooh, yeah, if they did that right, that could be good.
Mm-hmm.
Like something akin almost to the detective mode parts of Batman.
A little bit. I could see that. I wouldn't mind having some of that with, and that'd be a fun thing to bring in if we ever got around to it, where we're playing a game where Samus is just going around tracking down bounties. But I've got some, I think we might have even talked about that idea. I'll have to go back and double check now, but
I think we did, actually.
But actually like tracking her bounty with, specific visor modes for looking for shit and clues left behind and, actual literal tracks maybe even. I think that could be fun. That idea definitely entices me, especially in a first-person mode.
Tracking,
God forbid we have...
Having a track of shit based on an ion trail or something.
Oh, God, yes. I really do wish, though, we could do something more with her ship in Prime 4. Like, they started to go on the right track with 3 and then just teased it. Like, no, more! Because, man, playing around on the inside of the ship in Prime 3 was a great time.
I didn't know you got to.
Uh-huh. You literally start the game there.
Huh.
You get to, like, push all the buttons and turn the knobs and pull the levers and shit. It was great. So, they even hid secret messages in her ship.
Really?
Yeah.
Like,
So,
what kind of messages?
okay. So here's some fun, useless trivia for anybody that may not know. But it's old, so you might. So, at the very beginning, you get a call over the radio from the Federation ship that you're about to dock on. And they tell you to input your verification or your access code or whatever. And this little panel drops down from the ceiling of the ship right in front of your face. And it's got an array of buttons, and it tells you which buttons you need to push. But if you push some of the other buttons in specific sequences, instead of playing the next bit of the game, there's actually recorded audio messages from some of the people that worked on Corruption.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
Added bonus points, they're all in Japanese.
Oh, yeah?
Uh-huh. So you have to find them, and then you have to translate. So, but yeah, that's a thing that's in there. But I think that's what I want for Prime 4, though. I want to be able to bounce the story between Samus and Sylix. I want to know what Sylix's deal is officially, but I kind of like my idea for that's his deal.
I can see it being good.
I want it. I think maybe occasionally you run into a boss fight over the course of Prime 4 that stalls Samus up long enough that Sylix actually, manages to catch up just briefly and long enough to maybe, like, in a CPU fashion, take part in the boss fight.
Okay.
And as it ends, maybe Samus starts getting wise to the fact she's being chased and, manages to get away. But I also think it'd be a neat way, too, to have a little fun with some of the boss fight design, because you could structure and build different boss fights for each of the different characters, for Samus and for Sylix, that play to their specific abilities for those boss fights.
Okay.
Like, Sylix's alt mode was actually, I think, would be kind of neat to play with in a boss fight, because he doesn't turn into a ball. He kind of turns into this floating little, like, hover spider thing.
Ooh.
And his alt mode weapon is basically like a tripwire mine.
Okay.
So how Samus, drops bombs. Imagine dropping bombs, but after you drop the first one, bomb number 2 creates an energy wire to bomb number 1, and bomb number 3 creates an energy wire to bomb number 2 and bomb number 1. So if somebody trips across, just a single line, it snaps and explodes on them. Or if you manage to surround them with all 3, the whole thing just like rubber bands shut on them and detonates.
Okay.
That was Sylix's alt mode in Hunters.
Or maybe not detonates, but bounds them up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like a snare or a web.
Yeah.
That could be fun. That could be a great, like, alt mode, weapon upgrade for Sylix.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because then, it'd really be the first character outside of Samus, not including Federation Force, that they'd really get to expand on. Because, all the hunters had basic stuff, but you never really saw what would happen if any of their powers, upgraded or they got any more gear along the way. And Samus does that every game. I think it'd be kind of cool to see them explore that.
Yeah, I think if done right.
Question is, though, are they bringing back Phazon, or is Phazon dead? My money's on Phazon is dead and gone.
I think Phazon is dead and gone because it never came up in any of the other games, and you said that was one of the earlier games chronologically. Right.
But considering, too, though, that, they wrote the Prime games well after all those, as a side story, it could still be there for Prime 4 if it takes place inside that same gap. And then, reclose it again with Prime 4 or 5 or 6 or whatever the fuck happens. But I would really like to see them take on something totally different instead of wrapping it around that.
Yeah.
My only question is that, how do you still call it a Prime game if Metroid Prime isn't actually in it? And you can't have that without Phazon.
And Metroid Prime was in all of them?
Yes.
Huh.
Because the first Metroid Prime had Metroid Prime in the end fight, which then in the 100% ending is where you saw the creation of Dark Samus. And then Dark Samus was in 2 and 3, which Dark Samus carried genetic material from Metroid Prime. So it was part Metroid.
Okay.
It was part Metroid, part Samus, part Phazon.
All cop.
Oh God, there's the spin-off game we need. We need Dark Samus in law enforcement. Full on RoboCop spoof.
I was gonna say RoboCop spin-off.
Definitely. That's the Metroid movie we need. Somebody call up John Woo. We've got the script. God. I remember getting all excited when I heard that he held the movie rights for a while.
Of Metroid?
Metroid, yeah.
Really?
Yep. It was for a couple of years and then did nothing with them and let it expire.
Yeah.
Those movie rights have made the rounds a few times.
Yeah, I know that. Like, to be fair, though, I'm glad they're not just pumping out shit,
Right.
It's one of the things I'm actually really proudest of right now, is the fact that when people go to make something, they, we're getting more good stuff as opposed to garbage.
Yeah.
Because, the automatic response when someone says, hey, I'm making a 30-year-old sequel to this and that, and it, you're automatically like, this is going to be shit. But some of them have been decent.
So, kind of makes you wonder what Dread would have been like if they had put it out when they had originally attempted it.
Yeah.
I wonder if that prototype still exists anywhere.
AM2R.
Probably something along those lines, honestly.
Yeah.
Given that they would have been building off the Fusion engine at that time.
Yeah.
Maybe, a juiced up version of it on the DS, but yeah. So, but no, I think that's a good place to wrap this up, though.
This obviously doesn't need any kind of name or anything.
No, I've got a title for it.
Oh, do you?
I do.
I'm listening.
I feel like if this all came together and went with that plot thread idea, we would be playing Metroid Prime 4, Foretold.
Okay. Now I'm going to be disappointed when it comes out if they don't do something with the Silas thing.
Yeah. I'm going to be surprised if Silex isn't in Prime 4, given what Tanabe has said on the subject. So, because he's like, yeah, no, I've got ideas for what I want to do with Silex in another Prime game if ever given the opportunity. So obviously there was something in mind. It's just a question of did that carry into the final idea. But given how long it's been stewing, I'd be really surprised if it wasn't there. But maybe that's just me.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think that's it. So I want to say thank you to everybody that came and hung out with us this week here in the lab. Thank you to my lab partner Michael, and we'll see you all next week here on Phazon Labs, powered by the World 1-1 podcast. We'll see you all next mission. Peace.